Okay, this is CKLA, Core Knowledge Language Arts, Unit 6 for kindergarten. We're doing the workbook. So let's go to this website that's in the description. Scroll down to the bottom. You can download the workbook. This is free. Show in folder. Now, the first of the video, I will be only going over workbook pages that are different than what you've seen before in Units 3, 4, 5, or whatever. Then I'll go back and fill in the rest for those of you that have not seen those other videos. First one is page 7, which we actually have seen this in previous units, but I wanted to show it because it's different in that it has S blends with it now. And so you're adding some consonant blends in there. I have kids, they can cut these out and then try to make words with them. Making this into a contest makes it more interesting to the kids. So we decide, are we going to have more real words or more made up words? And so let's say that Tommy thinks we'll have more real words. It's a smiley face, so I could write their name here. And then just to be different, I would say, nope, I think we'll have more made up words, and we'll see who wins. And making it into a contest just makes it more interesting. So let's say they say the word pot, and pot is a real word. So we put it into the real word pot column, have them do it Don't let them look at it. See if they can just do it from sounds. What about if we have the word sought? They make the word sought, and it's not a real word. We'd put it underneath sought, in that column. And then do it for a while. See who has the most words, which one wins. Real words or not real words. And the next new thing on this is 9 and 10. On this one, you would just dictate 2-letter sound words, 3 sound words, etc. So up, they write up. Tip, ip. Maybe down here it might be spot, sp, So just dictating and then writing them with good handwriting is hugely important. So let's go down to 13, another new type of thing. This one right here, I tell my kids S is kind of a cranky letter. And he gets mad when he's at the end of the word. You know, some kids get mad if they're at the end of the line. Well, S, he gets mad if he's at the end of the word. And so then he becomes a copycat. And so I have them copy me, which I love doing that. So whoever the line leader is that day gets to do it. So I tell them, okay, copy me. I'll say, hello, Tommy. And they say, hello, Tommy. And I'm like, are you copying me? And they'll say, are you copying me? And I'll act like I'm getting mad. That's when I tell them there's a letter that's like that. He's cranky S, and he gets mad when he's at the end of a word. And when he's at the end of a word, he does just like Tommy did. He copies the sound before it. And so if you put your hand on your throat and we make the normal S sound, it is not voiced. It's unvoiced. I don't have a voice going. But if I make that same sound but turn my voice on, zzz, ooh, what sound does that sound like? Sounds like the letter Z, doesn't it? So, but if I turn my voice off, sounds like an S. My voice on sounds like a Z. Zzz. So we look up here. The S is at the end of the word. He doesn't have an S friend with him, so he's going to be a copycat. He looks at the sound before it, he listens, and it says, ah, put my hand on my throat, I can feel the voice is on. So my S is going to have its voice on. It's going to sound like the Z sound. As. Okay? So, again, check the sound before it. So that's how I teach them when S is read as the Z sound. But they would read the sentence and pick whichever word makes sense. Stan as mad at Fred doesn't make sense. Stan his mad at Fred, or Stan is mad at Fred. You can fold this over where they can't see the word, and then they would do it from sounds. Z, ooh, sounded like a Z. But almost every time if I hear a Z at the end of the word, it's almost always going to be an S. So we're going to write it as an S. Okay, it's lesson 13, or number 13. We'll go down to 15. This, I like the, I don't even know if I would do the big book or the reader necessarily. You can get everything you need from the workbook. This is the first section of the reader, and it's all on one page. Kit can swim, Kit can flip and flop. It's meant to be sent home, so they can practice reading the big book or the reader from here. And it'll have it throughout this whole workbook. 16 is something new as well. I encourage my students not to sing the song. I want them to read because I want them just to say it. I don't want them to rely on that. Plus, LMNOP comes across as one thing. Here, I guess in this program, they have them clap after L, so they would go A, B, C, D, blah, 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 H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. and that way they can avoid doing that L, M, and OP. I just have them say it if they can. So they just say it as they're going along. Let's see, let's go to 17. This is something we've seen in previous workbooks. However, it's added the complexity or it's added suffixes. So again, our suffix, our S is at the end of a word, does not have an S friend with him. He's by himself. So he's mad. He's going to be a copycat. Let's check the sound before it. Put your hand on your throat. T, t, t is unvoiced. So yeah, S will be unvoiced because he's copying him. Let's check the sound before this one. G, g, g. My voice is on, so he's going to turn his voice on, and he's going to sound like a Z. Dogs. You can fold it here, have them read a word. Legs. Make it where they can't see it. They come down, they find, oh, and they would put it underneath the one that sounds like that Z sound. Ooh, g, z. Okay. Another new one is 28. This, they just say the sound, or they have them say the sound first and the letter name last. So it would say M, A, S, or Z, S. I would have both at this point since we've introduced that S can be voiced. 34. Just fill in the missing letter. Again, I don't have them sing it. I have them say it. A, B, C, blah, and just fill in those missing letters. And 34, move on down to 40. Here it is a 2, a little bit differently. Same thing, just a little different. Missing letters. 40, now they do it without, they just do it from 0. A, B, C, and fill it in. This is a really important skill, getting these letters in alphabetical order, or putting them in ABC order. Can be really tricky for some kiddos. 43 is a new thing. It's something similar that we've seen. You would dictate and then they would put a little paper clip or a toy or a teddy bear or something on the A. Number 2, put the one on the I sound. Put number 3, put it on the X sound. And I wouldn't have them circle it just so I can reuse that page. 47. This is an assessment right here. You see that? So we're not going to help them during this. We're just seeing if they can do it. So you give them the word fist, and I want you to tell me all the sounds in fist, and hopefully they're able to go f, I, s, t. Now they have the gray boxes are the newly introduced consonant blends, and those are tricky for especially struggling readers to hear, but even new readers that are not going to struggle have a hard time hearing those two. So if I say fist, they might come out with f, I, t, and not hear that s, or not be able to tell you that there's a s in there. Not during the assessment, but later after I've finished the assessment, because this is what I just want to know what they know, we can talk about these are stretchers. These words have a hidden sound in them. And so if I take the word fist and I stretch it out really slowly, say it with me, fist. And you really have to slow them down. You may have to do that a couple of times where before they can hear it. But that's how it helped them. But again, don't do that during the assessment part. That's when you're teaching. Page 57. Not sure what this is. It says to be used with the fishing pond. It's probably in the teacher's guide, but I'm not interested enough to go check it out because there's many other things I can work on. But that's in there. And then, oh, it's not new. Sorry, I'm trying to look at my notes. 63. Again, I'm just kind of assuming on this one you're going to fill in these blocks with some words, and I'd put from words up above because we know they've been exposed to those words, so really anything up above from any of this. And then you just get a die and you get a playing piece, and then you see who gets to the end. If they get a 3, they might just say the word they land on. You might have them read all 3 words and just see who gets to the end first. Number 67 is new. Oh, just showing that. Oh, this is a response recording. So you would have them read and then mark any misread words above the word and circle any omitted words. So you're just checking to see how well they're reading. I would time it just out of curiosity. So you might have one kid that can read this in 45 seconds. It might take another student 2 minutes. Most response recordings or running records that I've seen are like you time them for a minute. So maybe that's the way you would do that. I don't know. I would probably do a stopwatch, honestly, and then just stop them at a minute. And if they're taking so long, we don't want them to tire them out. We're just seeing how well they can read. And so something you can send home. Again, these are throughout here parts from the reader. I think the entire reader is in here in some form or fashion. Don't quote me on that. 71 we did just handwriting practice. 2 more new ones, 83 and 85. 83, not 100% sure what this is. This little arrow, you can use a brad and put it in here and spin. Looks to me like a twister game, but I don't know how that works. I would probably just use it as you spin it. I would write the words in here, and then whatever you land on, that's what you say. Spin it again, whatever it lands on, that's what you say. But again, Teacher's Guide probably has information on that. And then this one right here, you're drawing lines from rhyming words. So draw from hot to pot, bed to red, etc. Okay, so that's all the new stuff. If you have seen previous videos, you know, everything else has been in those previous videos, but for those that haven't, I'll go back through. Number 11. I think we showed this. I can't remember. I would fold it here, and I would say frog. They read it. Fold it where they can't see it. Come down here, find frog, and go f or ah. G. Unfold it. Check it. Cross it out. Go to the next word. Let's see. Number 19. Something we've also had in previous workbooks. Just read the word on the left. Cans. Which picture goes with cans? I would fold it where they can't see it, and then hopefully they can do it from sounding it out. K, N, Z. I can't remember if it was this video or a previous one I've talked about, so if I've already talked about this, forgive me. But A is kind of a vowel that can be read kind of 2 different ways. So most of the time it's that A that we're used to hearing. However, A is scared of 2 letters. It's scared of the N because the N sounds like a horse. And horses eat apples. An A, apple, A. So when an A walks up to the sound, or the A is before the it gets scared. It doesn't say A, it says E. So listen to it when you say it. Cans. Cans. It's kind of a whiny A. Same thing with the letter M. M is if you make that sound because you see something yummy. Well, the A is an yummy apple, and so it gets scared walking up to the sound. So it says ham. So I teach my kids that, you know, there's whiny A's before an N or an M, and that's get that little story. It kind of helps them remember. Okay, 21. There's a little wheel that you can make. I made one from a different unit. You put a brad into each of those small circles, and then you read. So dog, spin it, dock, spin it, dot, etc. Now this is one from this unit, so it has some consonant blends in it. A little bit different than the one I just showed you, but the right idea. Then we have number 29. We've already talked about 28. It's right there. And you're just drawing a line, reading the word, drawing a line to the matching picture. Number 41. 41, yes. On this one, they would cut out the words, read them to their parents. They show the S that's bolded, says the Z sound. You can read the words to them. Okay, read the word clips. I want you to write the word clips. Again, that has 2 consonant blends, and one at 2 at the beginning and 2 at the end, or yeah, either which way. But that's a little tricky, so that might be a stretcher. Let's stretch that out and listen to all my sounds. Clips. And that P really gets lost right before the sound. So you might slow it even down. Clips. And separate it out a little bit more for them. That's 41. Done that one. We've gone there. Let's go 49 and 50. So 49, I think we talked about this. I've done this too many videos recently. On this one, instead of circling, I would use a little object to put on them, a little paper clip or a little toy or bear counter or something. I read the word. I read a word, mist. They have to figure out which one is mist. They put it on the right word. If you circle it, you can only reuse the paper once. If you're putting the bear on it, you can use the page multiple times. Number 2, find the word bum. You put a counter on it, and then you save it for another day and come back and do it again with different words. All right, so that's 49, 51. I think we talked about that. You're just drawing a line from there to there. 59. Okay, so 59 and 61 go together. They're the same words, just in a different order. So 59, you would cut these out as individual cards, and then you would have them come over here and match them up. So if I had the word clamp, I would look on here, have to find the word clamp and match them up. Find the word bump, I get my little card, put it on the word bump on this page. 61, we've done 63, 65. I actually think I showed you the wheel. Yeah, I showed you the wheel. 73. Oh, just handwriting practice. I think I touched on that earlier. Anyway, so they'll just say every time they write a letter. Say their sound that goes with it. And then one more, 77. It's just the same thing. I would fold it here, trace it, p, u, m, p, u, fold it so they can't copy it, so they just do the sounds. Okay, write the word plum, p, u, m. All right, so this is Unit 6. Workbook has more to it. We're getting a little more challenging for them, which is great. So hopefully this was helpful. And like I said, I'll put the link to it in the description.